Welcome back, and this is still the press on KAFTAN television, and we are reaching you live from the nation's capital, Abuja. Well, I've been joined by a guest in the studio to discuss some of the headlines that made it to our national dailies, and joining me this morning is Bitako Abubakar, who is a public affairs analyst. You're highly welcome this morning.
Thank you. Good morning.
What a rainy morning. how are you dealing with the Abuja weather? Because this rain is just something else this morning. Since 4 a.m. it's been raining up till I got to the office, and it hasn't even stopped.
It is the season. It's the season, and we have to bear with the situation.
Right.
Yeah.
All right, before we move on,
is cold.
A gentle reminder that our phone lines are now open for you to call in to give in your contribution or ask a question. Okay, based on this rainy season, we're already in the rainy season, so, and thank God we have some of the flood issue. Let me not say thank God, because it's not a good thing. I mean, I came across some flood issue. Now it is tied to the rainy season. It says from the Punch newspaper, it says 10 states battling flooding, 21 others at risk. 21 other states are at risk. Meanwhile, 10 states are already battling the flooding. And this begs for questions like, must we go on and on and on with this every year? Because to me, it's not as if the federal government does not know that rainy season is not something strange. It's not something that we say, oh, okay, we could predict that it's not going to rain this year. But every year we keep hearing losses of lives and properties due to flooding. What is the federal government doing in that regard?
Well, good morning, Nigerians. First of all, let me give you a background. I am an individual that is coming from an agrarian society. Mm-hmm. And as well, I'm a farmer in person.
Yes.
I have my farms. But when you look at from the 70s to 80s, you will discover that there was no desertification. Now we have desert encroachment on one hand, that is causing the flooding.
Okay.
And on the other hand, one of the factors that is leading to this flooding all over Nigeria now is, to me, I've realized that some of these farming chemicals that are newly introduced, herbicide, that we are using in our farmlands, they weaken the texture of the soil.
Okay.
And immediately, once you spread it in your own farms, grasses don't grow. It kills the shrubs, you understand? And it weakens the soil texture. And immediately rain falls, where there are streams or not, it develops to gullible distant stream. Then you now encounter flooding. And that is one of the major causes of this our bridges collapsing because of the chemical effects. And it's like experts are not doing anything much. That is my own observation. I've clearly observed that. I have farms that today I can no longer farm. They have turned to streams because the effect of the chemical in the soil have weakened the soil and is becoming, streams and rivers. You understand? And some of these, we have human, what do we call it, factor too. What is the human factor? Some of the bridges or the drainages that have been constructed by the government, you realize that an individual, after sweeping his house, will just go and dump the dirt inside the drainages. It happens even here in Abuja, not only in our various states. I feel it irritating when the drainage is just for the free flow of waters within the towns and what of you to the major maybe area where it will now go free. But individual will now go and constitute nuisance by blocking it. Then obviously we are bound to experience this kind of flooding. So Nigerians will learn how to maintain the drainages constructed by the government. It shouldn't be everyday government. We are equally government. After all, this government is providing services for the citizens. It's for our own benefit. So we should learn how to keep all these services intact.
I get your point correctly, but I think where you are referring to is usually the rural area. When you go to urban area, for example, when you go to estates, you don't get to see things like that, but we still get to see flood. Just yesterday there was a video on the internet of a Lagos resident.
Check Lagos.
Whose water got into her house. It wasn't a small water, like the level of the water, and it's an estate. Now, sometime last year we still had issues every year. This thing has been would I say, let me not say permanent, because I hope we get over it, but it has been a recurring issue every year that we talk about flooding, erosion, flooding and erosion, and you get to see some of the lawmakers in the National Assembly sponsoring bills, sponsoring motions on flooding and erosion. But it seems as if once the raining season is over, the matter is swept under the carpet. You understand? Because sometimes one of them said last year that the Cameroonian government, some of the water comes in from Cameroon. So what are they doing to prevent it? Have they spoken to the Cameroonian government?
You see,
what effort have they made?
In the case of the Labdo Dam in Cameroon, from my axis, you understand, there is a very weak effort, so to say, by the federal government as well as the state government. Why am I saying so? There should be the federal government and the state government of Adamawa and Taraba, as the case may be, who are now the border states that have the immediate impact of this Labdo Dam upsurge. They should be able to provide a lasting solution, a seasonal solution to that effect. But whenever, look at, every time the Cameroon government want to open the distance to a little bit empty it, they will give signal to the Nigerian government that at so time and so point we are going to open the dam so that the water flow will now reduce. You understand? So it is expected, since such communication is on ground, the federal government of Nigeria should be able to provide a lasting solution, like the river in River Benue, that is the River Gongola in Yola, that links to Cameroon and what of you understand, should be able to be drained. That drainage should be able to take place there, and people that are settling around that hub should be able to be resettled, where whenever this flooding occurs, it will not affect them. But it's not. There is no perennial and a very strong decision or something done to a kind of avoid such flooding or the impact of the flooding.
Because this is looking like a case where we use 99% of our time to talk about the problem and just use 1% to talk about the solution. Because now, what do you think the federal government should do? They ought to know what to do, a lot of things to do to prevent this, because Nigeria economy is already biting. You can't imagine losing whether properties, life, whether farmland, and to the affected farms, it has increased the food crisis that we are already into, that we are already going with, that we are already experiencing. So what do you think the federal government should do in that regard?
You see, when you don't have, that is the effect of having leaders who are not visionary, leaders who are not patriotic, leaders who don't initiate good policies favorable to the citizens. That is what we get. Because this issue, I'm telling you, is right back. I am from the then Gongola, President Taraba. It has been occurring many years, for crying out loud. By now, at the 21st century.
Before we move on. Good morning. Good morning. Your name and where you're calling us from, please.
I'm Collins from Bitako.
Okay, Collins, good to have you join us this morning. Please go ahead.
I want to ask the analyst first. I don't know whether it's a politician or just a public analyst. You see, there are issues that we don't even need to discuss about here. Why am I saying all this? Each time all this program will be on, I happen to see that not even any of our leaders even have the time to watch the things, the agonies, the feelings impression of the masses each time such a program is going on. It seems to me they don't even watch. Neither do they even have people to tell them this what is happening in their zone or in their constituency. Okay, talk of this dam of a thing that Cameroonians used to open up at least every year. If you look to our rivers now, let's say from River Niger down, from River Benue down to River Niger, there has been information right from the time of Obasanjo that there should be a drainage. Have they done that? The moment the water came in and pushed so much sand again, you see that within a short period of time, everywhere will be flooded up. They are doing nothing about it. I happen to see that they don't. That is why I want to ask the analyst, do we really have a leader as of in those days when we are not even giving birth to, that sacrifices their life, their finances, their everything to make sure things are good? Do we have such leaders again? Or we just have just a leader that is only interested in their own personal interest? You see to it that is why, look, I know I'm a politician anyway, but there are things you need to look up to. If you look to every election and look at Edo State, look at River State, why is all these power tussles? Because of their personal interest. They are not there to serve you. My problem now is because there is a statement that was going around the viral that even the outgoing governor are receiving pensions. Somebody that was in the state for good 8 years, and somebody that served the state or the federal government for 35 years, some of them are not collecting anything. Even their death benefits, they don't pay them. Look, I don't actually, there was one newspaper I was watching. Is it SMOA or EBO or something of that nature that they signed an agreement or something of that nature that even the House of Assembly must not even aware. There are so many things going wrong. What are we heading to? What are we doing? Which way are we going? What? We have to look up to God and women. God will not come and fight for us. Amen. We must definitely fight a way forward. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much, and do have a great day, Collins. You heard that already.
Yeah. The gentleman made an observation. You see, during the eras of Yar'Adua, 2008, his policy was draining our rivers. A contract was awarded to that effect. Immediately after his death, the whole issue died down. Supposing Goodluck Jonathan and the successive government came in, the APC government of now came in and said, look, let's look into this issue of drainages, we will not be experiencing what we have been experiencing. Now, Benue here, Makurdi here, sometimes August, September, as long as the breaches, as you are entering Makurdi, it will overflow to the top of the bridge. Same thing when you are entering Yola Numan bridge at that toll gate. The whole area will submerge with water. Right from childhood, I belong to that axis. If the government cannot say, look, let's tackle this issue once and for all, then something is wrong with the crops of leaders, successive leaders we are having. And something is wrong with our ministers of weather environment, with our ministers of water resources. You understand? If they cannot initiate a concrete, tangible project that will overcome for once these issues, then something is wrong. That is just the truth. Just like the gentleman said, whether do they in fact
they do list it, of
the
course.
plight of Nigerians.
They do.
Sometimes I look at it, whether the plight, these guys don't even have the times for the plights of Nigerians. Otherwise, some of these things supposed not to be happening, just like he said.
It is well now.
So we need refined crop of leaders who can salvage this country to greater extent.
And if something is done, if something is not done about this,
people are dying. Our farmland are washing away. You understand? I have a friend who went to do proposal in one of the states with regard to this chemical. I'm telling you, he's an agricultural expert. That look, in those days you see grasses in our villages that when we were going to school, you have to kind of clear your way before you get to your own primary school. Today, grasses don't grow, shrubs don't grow. See desertification all over. You understand? Where you were before, if you stand here, you will not be seeing Gwarimpa. Now you'll be spotting Kaduna because of desert encroachment. Coupled with this herbicide that they are bringing anyhow now, that is burning and killing our soil fertility. And yet, experts are not doing anything to that effect. You get money today, tomorrow what you are applying or what you are using is at the detriment of the entire society, entire generation. Experts are not doing anything proactive to handle those issues. So it's very unfortunate. We call on experts. We have experts in our universities and what of you. They should be looking at all these chemicals we are using in our farmlands, in our farming. It's affecting the crops, the yields. It's affecting the seedlings. It's even our own genetic composition. These are things that should be holistically looked into. I think that's just my own opinion with regard to that issue.
All right, before we move to the next story or headline we have here, this is a worrisome issue, and someone just asked, do the federal government listen to the plight of its people? So federal government, that is up to you to answer if you listen to the plight of the people you govern or you don't. And if you do listen to their plight, what are you doing to lessen their burden? I mean, Nigeria is the giant of Africa, and there are certain things that seems very abnormal. There are certain things that are abnormal to be happening with a country that seems to be the giant of Africa. This flooding leads to loss of life and properties, and our farmlands, our crops die every day. The hunger crisis keeps increasing. I mean, this is not nice, and I hope the federal government, the people in the position, water resources, state governments should do something as fast as possible. Thank you. Now, this next story says government abducts Abuja bound travelers in Kogi State, and it gets me talking to what just recently happened in Boza community in Borno State. You know, Boza community. Yeah, that's recently few people, some set of women were used to inject bomb suicide in an occasion, and now this calls for, or this aspects for a question: what is happening to our security bodies again? I mean, are we going? I thought we are getting over insecurity, especially with the FCT, because Abuja bound travelers in Kogi State. What is happening? Where is the problem? Is it the should we blame the security bodies, agencies, or should we blame the federal government? How do we get over insecurity? Because as it is, Nigerians are not safe. The country is not safe. No, there is hunger, there is insecurity. People are dying. What is the way forward?
I think there are many things wrong in this country of ours. Our institutions are weak. People who are employed to deliver services, I don't know whether they have lost confidence, or they don't have the zeal to do the work, or maybe something is just missing somewhere. Because, for instance, let's take DSS, Directorate of State Security Services. What is their primary role? Their constitutional role is to uncover discover and stop any crime that will happen in the society. They are found all over within us, in the restaurants. That's what they're supposed to do. Everywhere they're supposed to be. You understand? To be listening to what people are saying. To gather information, intelligent information gathering. And their activities with how the society, the world has become technologically advanced. I want to believe that their activities, their duties are even lessened by the technology that are made in place.
Yes.
We communicate. These criminals make calls, send messages, and don't forget, every call and messages you send through any of the network is stored in the bank of that network, be it MTN, Glo, Airtel, or what have you. You understand? What is wrong with these security agencies that they cannot connect a kind of a synergy? There should be that synergy when it comes to communication. It baffles me that a whole capital of the giant of Nigeria, that is purportedly said the giant of Africa, the largest black nation in the world, Abuja, you find cases of kidnapping, assassination, and what have you. And these things are conducted, they are coordinated, they are networked through our GSM services. This thing. So sometimes when you look at it, I feel maybe the security agencies, so to say, are complacent, or they are weak, or maybe they are not even ready to do the work. You understand? If you are attacking a politician now, there and then you'll be got hold.
Okay, sorry to interrupt you. Let's quickly hear from this caller before we move on. Hello, good morning, and thank you for joining us on the press this morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Glad to have you join us. Your name and where you're calling us from?
My name is Gideon. I'm calling from Kefi.
All right, please go ahead.
Please, I want to check out concerning this issue that you are discussing. What I'm thinking concerning this issue, what we'll do is just forget about the religions matter and focus on this our leader, because they don't have us in mind. The only thing that they are just concerning about themselves. We should just forget about religious sentiment and all these things and focus them. If not, almost what will happen? That's my contribution.
All right, thank you for your contribution.
Now you see,
Do have a great
anywhere you go, there's a wide gap of distrust between the ruling class and the ruled. Wide gap of distrust. And I am telling you, I keep on saying, as a politician, as a statesman, at my age I've gone far. I have delivered my services to this country. Until the government of the day, and until the successive government change the narrative, I am imagining what is happening in all these small African countries.
We have another caller. Let's quickly hear from this one before we move on. Good morning. Good morning. Can you hear me?
I'm hearing. I'm saying calling.
Oh, okay. Sam Collins, please go ahead.
Like just the analyst was explaining to us. If you see to it now, look at the last caller. It has everybody are getting tired of this democracy. And we have agreed that he has come to stay. That is why I made the first statement that does it mean that all these analysts and all the comment that people are giving are politicians are not hearing them? And the analysts say they are hearing everything. If truly they are hearing it, I prayed, no matter how hard their heart is, please, I beg them in the name of God. Let's look to the plight of the masses, the things they are going through. If Benue State, which I know is the food basket of the nation, if we can buy the tuber of yam close to 3,000-4,000 naira now, what of those kids that doesn't produce this? I knew quite okay that all our house of assemblies, they don't know how much they bought their food. Theirs is just food is ready. I happen to know it because I am close to one or two persons. If I'm not mistaken. But we, the poor masses, do they know how we are feeding? Look at these flood issues now. During the time of Jonathan and Yaradua, I happen to know that we buy a bundle of zinc at the rate of 17,000-15,000. How much are they paying by one? The lowest is around that kind 75, which is normal. Except you want to buy the big one that you are ready to buy it in the next 2 months to buy another one. Look at the cement we produce. How much are they buying the bag now? Look at the fuel we have, which we say we are not giant of anything. Nigeria is giant of poverty and pains. I'm not insulting anybody. But let's just be frank to ourselves. We are bearing the whole pains. That is why I could remember Abamura, not a PDP member. The statement he made, I see that statement is lingering in the ears of every Nigerian now. See, we are sitting on a time bomb that if we are not careful, both him, Dino Milai, and every other person will be excluded. But I pray it will never happen. Let's look way forward, how to bring down all these things that the masses will know that we have in Nika. Look at someone in Amutala. When people say when they say it in the Doma, I don't know. Somebody will interpret it to you in the Doma language. That is when they are saying good of somebody that is liable to do good, somebody that is a corny person that doesn't even know that people are existing will be angry. And I know I wasn't there during the Mutalat event. I happen to know it in history. There are so many sacrifices that they'll make. Please let our leader pick up from them. Let's have a good Nigeria and a good democracy. Thank you.
Thank you very much, and do have a great day. It is well. You were saying something. Please go ahead.
So, just like I was saying, when you sit with Nigerians, you hear they share the same view, pains, agony, lamentations on the failure of government to deliver adequate services to its citizens. This thing, whether you like it or not, it shall not continue like that, because it is instigating. Our leaders are instigating a revolution which they don't even want to hear.
Let's hear the opinion of this caller before we move on. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Oh, we lost that caller.
They are either consciously or unconsciously instigating revolution. And today when somebody calls for revolution on social media, he will be apprehended. You apprehend somebody for calling for revolution so that the society will change for good, and you are there instead of you to change the society so that people will appraise you, people will ask you to continue in power. What takes you for crying out loud? You are in power already. People have elected you. That ceremoniously, joyously, gladly elected you. People even pay money to elect, to campaign, use their money to campaign. When Tinubu was coming in, Renew Hope, we were all rallying around.
Yes, and before that he said he campaigned for this job. But before we move on, let's quickly hear from this caller. Good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. Can you turn down the volume of your device?
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, I can hear you. You may have to call back. Turn down the volume of your device.
You understand?
Yes.
People come out, at least for one, reflect your mind to the kind of joy, how happy people come when you go out for campaign to receive you. Then at the end of the day, you are voted.
But let me quickly add this. In the words of Mr. President, he said he campaigned for this job. That is to say, he knew what he was going into, and he was fully prepared for
the job.
But with what we are seeing that is playing out with the Nigerian economy today, are you convinced that he was prepared for this job? But before you take that question, let's quickly hear from this caller. Good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. Glad to have you join us. Where are you calling us from?
My name is James from Abuja.
James Abuja, please go ahead.
I want to comment on the possibility of changing the narrative of this country. Those of us that are living, we don't know what we face. We need to come up and do what is expected of us. We have never come out to complain. We need to complain, including the analysts with you there. It is not a matter of coming to the television house or radio house and we need to complain. Our various units, we need to complain how things are run in this country. None of us complain. Look at what is happening in some other small countries. They complain and they are being attended to. It is better for us to complain. Let us lodge a complaint to the state government, the federal government, and the local government. Most of the local government officials, they are sure they are just spending anyhow, right? Building mansions. So this country is sitting on the keg of powder. This guy is not taking to bust and consume everybody. God bless you, Federal Republic of Nigeria.
God bless Nigeria, and thank you for calling. So like I say, with what is playing out so far, with what has played out in the 1 year administration of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, do you think he was fully prepared, or he is prepared for this?
Well, I elected him.
You do, but yes, that's interesting. But let's hear from this caller. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning. Glad to have you join us on the press. Where are you calling us from?
I'm calling from Yobe State.
Glad to have you join us. Please go ahead.
Thank you. I just want to make some contribution based on the present situation in this country.
All right.
First and foremost, people are suffering. People are suffering. They are in hell. Go to the streets and see how people could not even afford one daily meal, a single square meal for a day. Now look at the structure of the salary of the civil service. Let's take for instance Yobe State. A level 12-13 is receiving around 55,000 naira a month.
Level 12,
which is not even enough for him to buy a bag of rice. Now look at about 2 years back now. One mudu of gari flour, maize flour is around 700 naira. But today is 3,500 naira. If you buy 10 mudus, that is 35,000. Which is not even enough to feed you for a week. How much is that for your salary? People are pushed to the wall. Honestly, if care is not taken, this country is going to go into revolution. That is the only savior we have. Our politicians are not helping matters. They siphon and embezzle our funds, building of houses, going here and there, while the masses are here suffering. If you could see my eyes, you could see the sincerity in me. Honestly, people are suffering.
Even if you are paid as a civil servant 150,000 a month, it's not going to feed you for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
What about those that are not working? The peasant farmers. So things are just going out of hand. The economic structure of this country should be redesigned. Things should come into play. At least there should be money injected into this economy that will bail out the situation. Honestly, this country is heading for destruction. A word is said to be enough for the wise. The politicians should buckle up their belt and take this country. Honestly, I'm afraid of what is coming up in the nearest month.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, and do have a great day. We have the caller. All right, you were saying something before we had the caller, but
you
I
understand?
think we have another one here. Good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. Glad to have you join us on the press this morning.
Yeah, I'm calling from Lagos, by Keja.
Okay.
Now, I just want to say that on the issue at hand, I listened to your guest, and he said something that is very clear about the president. And I think I want to say this, that the president, whoever that look critically to the conduct and the character of the president, it doesn't seem as if he's ready to do anything for Nigeria. I don't think he wants to add title of being former president to his name. And because from day one that you have made that mistake as a president of saying subsidy is wrong, and you have seen the impact. You said something that number one, you are not prepared for. Number two, the managers that will take care of those policy of subsidy is gone. They are not on ground, and you went ahead, and that has brought the country to where we are right now. And again, the same thing that happened. I was in Kenya a few weeks ago, and people stood and they said, we are not going to take this policy from the government. They did everything. There was they shot at them. There was they charged them. I mean, all kinds of things. But they said no, that enough is enough. That until they took over the National Assembly, I was there. I after that, I said, oh, these are the people that meant business. And I think Nigeria is getting to that point that they will push Nigeria to the wall. That what is going to come after is going to be worse than the answers, because the level of hunger, the rate of unemployment has gone beyond. It is something you cannot imagine. Now, take for example, the last time government claimed you don't have money. You gave 90 billion for those that are going on ads. And how does ads, what economic value does that have on Nigeria that are hungry, that have no job? The inflation has gone high, cost of production has gone bizarre. And again, I'm sure that very soon now they will give another to create after Nigeria. Maybe that one will be running to about 100 billion. All of these are tailored towards policies of 2027, not for the welfare of Nigerians. And somebody will come and tell me that Nigeria doesn't have money. You decided to say you want to construct Lagos Calabar Coastal Bridge that will cost 15 trillion. Yes, the government doesn't have money. You want to spend 21 billion on the vice president building. Yes, the government doesn't have it. And Nigerians are hungry. 160 billion vehicle for National Assembly. Yes, Nigerians are hungry. It is a clear thing that the government in place just want to add to their CV that I was once the president of the country. And I can tell you that the way it is, we are likely going to continue like this in the next 4 years. I went to Qatar. I left Kenya and moved to Qatar. I saw the way they were using their oil and gas to transform the whole of Qatar. So I keep wondering when people say that the followers, it's not the followers. The government, as a matter of fact, you need to see how secretive. I asked them, are your police? Where are your police? They said you don't see police here, that there are security everywhere. That there are security everywhere because it is when you do something you see them appearing. That is what the security is an peace. Then in Nigeria here you see National Assembly, the senator with police, about 7 escorts. You see the president come with convoys of cars, and most of those cars are Toyota. The moment you take money from Nigeria economy to other country, what you are saying is that to buy Toyota, to buy anything, what you are saying is that you are taking employment to that country and you are bringing on employment to Nigeria. And that's where we are now. You can see company living. Unilever left, this one left, a business that has been here, they left, seems like they left, and now Oshimole has the guts to be saying that they are going to buy them from selling their products to Nigeria. Why will you not take care of what is wrong? Number one, why are they leaving? Inflation. Number two, instability in exchange rate. Number three, cost of production. Number four, energy problem, no light, power. These are the reasons why they were leaving. Go to Qatar there. You see they are buying fuel. They were using them, their roads are so clean. I asked them question, where is your Loma? People say, why you put blame on people that people for something? Because the government there, they took charge of everything. And you don't even have that God to pour anything inside anything because they have made provision for you as individual. You live life like human being. You know that I entered Nigeria airport, everything changed. And I ask question, is it the food that we eat in this country? Or what is wrong with us in this country that things are not just, and we have the resources. They told me they have the resources, they are not doing anything with it. Government keep wasting resources, keep doing things that Nigerians are hungry. And I think this is the problem. These are the problems. And all these problems are tied to every other sector, to police, to health, to education, to agriculture, and all that.
Right.
So I think, for my own, this is my opinion, and this is my stand, I stand by it. This government just want to add to their CV, especially the president that has been once promised. I can tell you for free, if they are going to discuss this thing in the next 4 years, every analyst they say the correct thing, they have provided solution, then which one have they done? And that's my case.
Thank you very much. Thank you for calling and do have a great day.
It's not easy.
It is. It's not easy at all. A lot is going on in Nigeria. A lot is going on with Nigerians. A lot is wrong with Nigeria economy. But please, you were saying something that I asked a question. Do you think Nigeria, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is prepared fully, like he said in his word, that he campaigned for this job? That is to say, he knows what he's getting himself into. He knows what the office entails. Do you think in the last 1 year that we can say that, oh, the president is actually prepared for this job?
To be frank, as an APC citizens who voted for him, who campaigned for him, I think Mr. President is missing steps.
He's missing steps. You will tell me what step he's missing. But before we get there, let me hear from the scholar. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Very well, thank you. Your name and where you're calling us from?
Mustafa from Maiduguri.
Mustafa from Maiduguri. Good to have you, and please go ahead.
Well, all what those people are saying has already been said by El Mustafa. But there is no correction whatsoever. All these people in House of Assembly, whatever the case may be, now they've got what they want. And at the same time, they won't get more money to re-campaign again for the next time. Nigerians are only once you get the money, they have already said, once you give them money, they will do what you want. And at the same time, when you are given that position, then you will forget about the poor. I don't know where we are heading to. How can one piece of paper is 100 naira a piece? Example. How can we survive in this country? Nobody now. It's very few people who are getting even 2 square meals in a day. A kilo of meat is now 6,000 naira in Maiduguri. Where are we heading to? You buy things today, tomorrow you go and the price has increased. When you have it, that's how the market. There are few clicks now who will increase the price of everything at the same time and nothing happens to them. And once you do that, then it's okay. I don't know where we are heading to. Please, the government, Tinubu knows, he promised. He promised that he will correct Nigeria. But there is no correction whatsoever as I'm saying. Please. I know that there is no bad leader. But those surrounding him are the ones making those mistakes. Not even mistakes. Deliberately they are used. They are not even allowing the head to see what is going on. You will only see that things has happened. I don't know where we are heading to, please.
All right. Thank you.
For God's sake, fear God. Thank you.
Do have a great day. I just don't know. I think West Femi with the plight and you could see the sincerity in caller's voice, the masses, everybody is
and
tired.
This is to tell you that
everybody is hungry.
This is to tell you that.
Good morning.
Good morning, my sister.
Good morning. Good to have you join us this morning on the press. Where are you calling us from?
My name is Mazio Krafo from Arushuku.
Mazio Krafo,
yes, good morning, my brother in the studio.
Okay.
You see, this issue of everyday companies are leaving Nigeria, companies are leaving. My brother was just telling me that some of it they just left Nigeria. Those who that eat some of it, what we do, maybe another company, some of it will be their best option. I don't know. But my main concern this morning is this issue of tariff. DISCO. DISCO increment, which Nigerian level was happening yesterday. I don't know. We have come to a stage that every week we will see one abracadabra show on the net going on. Is that how we are going to develop? DISCO knows very well that the present one which people are buying 1,000 naira, you get 4 units. Cannot even last in a home for 2 days. And they have now come now to the other. I told them I'm going to buy 1,000 or 2,000. I know how many units their present is. Now, where are we heading to? DISCO knows very well that 99% of companies in Nigeria, they use what we call energy. Now, are they not creating additional unemployment? Are they not making life uncomfortable for Nigerians? Look at Abubakar industry. I saw it the paper there. They were giving to the record with research works. That they spend 3 or 4 point something billion for energy every year. Abubakar University.
Hello.
Now, if university will spend such things for energy, what will happen to other universities, other federal universities? I think we call those ones federal universities. I don't know. Do you know that education is part of the dividends of democracy? I don't call on the authority concerned that they should call DISCO to order. Where possible, local government or state government should try and start generating their energy. Federal government should open it up so that everybody going to energy production. It will help us because when we have monopoly of DISCO, they are making life uncomfortable. Both Nigerians, students, manufacturers. Manufacturers are crying. I don't know whether they want DISCO want to see dead body on the road before they do the needful. Mazio Krafo from Arushuku.
Thank you, Mazio Krafo, for calling, and you have a great day. Okay, we are out of time. You said the president. You don't think the president is.
He's missing steps.
He's missing steps. Okay, tell us why you think so.
You see, MK Abiola of blessed memory was once asked during presidential debate of 1993 that Nigeria has been tagged as giant of Africa. Other countries of Africa are looking up to Nigeria for assistance. If voted into power, how can he handle that? The gentleman answered the journalist then that, look, you don't expect an anemic patient to donate blood. You understand?
Let me hold you there. We are out of time. Let's quickly hear from this last caller before we sign out this morning. Good morning, and where are you calling us from?
I'm James, calling from Calabar, Cross River State.
James from Calabar. Please, can you turn down the volume of your device?
I've done that.
All right, please go ahead.
Well, the economy, Tinubu has come in, and we are seeing what he's doing. When he was coming in, I was among people who know that he was not going to perform. And when I tell people that Tinubu is not going to do well, they were telling me, how do I know he's richer than Nigeria? I thank God today that they are seeing it is happening. And the northerners who are in support of him, I think they are seeing it now. And they are getting the bite from him. What is going on is not good. Nigeria is going bad every day. There is no good policy that he's going to make, and there is no good government he's going to make. Let everybody know that we are entering from fire pan to fire. We are going into fire. Because there is no good policy he's coming up with that will favor this country. In Lagos, he didn't perform well. Nigeria, he cannot, as a president, perform well. So let the citizens just have it in mind and build their courage to face their fight, to face their day, to face their life the way it comes. I wish Nigeria best, and I wish Nigeria well.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, please, in 2 seconds, because we are out of time, just why you were saying something, just conclude.
You understand? You don't expect an anemic patient to donate blood. What does that mean? Citizens are in hunger. They are crying. Businesses, they are losing small businesses. People who are handling small businesses they can no longer do. What do you expect? As a president, you must sit up. You shouldn't sleep. You should bring policies that can assist, that can make citizens refreshing and awaken their hope, just like he campaigned for.
You mentioned that you think Mr. President is missing the step. So are you at this point where the Nigerian economy has everywhere, nothing is moving everywhere, everything
People need to eat first.
Everything
the
needs
first
to be
policy
on
is
hold. Do you think President should resign?
I'm not saying he should resign. He has 3 more years.
All right.
In a year, if he's serious, he can overhaul every other thing and make positive policies that can make direct impact on the masses of the citizens, on the lives of the masses.
All right.
You understand?
Right.
That is just it.
All right. At this point, this is where we draw the curtain for today's episode, and I hope you had a war time for me. I have never felt this emotional on set before, because from what the feedback we are getting from callers and viewers, a lot is happening with Nigeria, a lot is wrong with Nigeria economy, and I hope that the federal government, state government, and the people in position do hear us, do listen to the plight of the people, and do something. Take necessities very serious before this whole thing gets out of hand. And I hope Mr. President, wherever he is, and those who are working for him or who are working with him, I hope this gets fixed. And until I come your way next time, keep watching KAFTAN Television. Don't forget to follow us on all our social media handles on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, and of course on Facebook at KAFTAN Television. I remain Mercy Emelite. Do have a great weekend.